Well, hello, my YouTube fellas and gals. So today we are working on lot 53, Action and Suspense. They're all softbacks. They're $1 a piece. And if you're new to my channel, I own a used bookstore. And even if you don't buy books from me, or you rather use a Kindle or a Nook, you can use me as a resource center to come and check out what books are out there. Because I will read the synopsis, which is the back of the book, to tell you what's out there. So if you are interested in buying books from me, everything will be listed below in the description. Tammy's Makeup Treats at gmail.com or Minda's Bookstore and more on Facebook. So this is book number 1. Now, this is kind of a set, but it's not a continuing set. It's a different story with each. I don't have the whole collection, so that's why you'll see a few here and there. So, if you like J.D. Robb, which is aka Nora Roberts, you'll like these books. This is Judgement and Death by J.D. Robb. This is a 2000 copyright. This is the condition of the book. I always show the conditions because I wipe all the books off when they come in here, and I go through all the books to make sure none of the pages are ripped and all that good stuff. And look, this has even got a free bookmarker in it. Look how cute that is. Oh, that's cute. So this is what the book's about. In an uptown strip joint, a cop is found bludgeoned to death. The weapons, a baseball bat. The motives, a mystery. It's a case of serious overkill that pushes Eve Dallas straight into overdrive. Her investigation uncovers a private club that's more than a hot spot. Purgatory is a last chance for atonement where everyone is judged. Where your ultimate fate depends on your most intimate sins, and where one cop's hidden secrets are about to plunge innocent souls into a vice-ridden damnation. So there is book number 1. Book number 2, we have Nora Roberts. See, her name's at the top of this one. Reunion and Death. This is a 2002 copyright. There she is. And this is what the book's about. At exactly 7:30 p.m., Walter Pettibone arrived home to find more than 100 friends and family shouting surprise. It was his birthday. Although he had known about the planned events for a week, the real surprise was yet to come. At 8:45 p.m., a woman with emerald eyes and red hair handed him a glass of champagne. One sip of birthday bubbly, and he was dead. The woman's name is Julie Dockport. No one at the party knew who she was, but Detective Eve Dallas remembers her all too well. Eve was personally responsible for Julie's incarceration nearly 10 years ago, and now, let out of good behavior, she still has nothing but bad intentions. It appears she wants to meet Dallas again in a reunion neither will ever forget. So there's book number 2. Book number 3, we have The Street Lawyer by John Grisham. This is a 1998 copyright. It's got the kind of like aged-looking pages. And this is what it's about. Michael Brock is billing the hours, making the money, rushing relentlessly to the top of Drake and Sweeney, a giant DC law firm one step away from partnership. Michael has it all. Then in an instant, it all comes undone. A homeless man takes 9 lawyers hostage in the firm's plush offices. When it is all over, the man's blood is splattered on Michael's face. And suddenly, Michael is willing to do the unthinkable. Rediscovering a conscience he lost long ago, Michael is leaving the big time for the streets where his attacker once lived and where society's powerless need an advocate for justice. But there's one break Michael can't make from a secret that has floated out from the depths of Drake and Sweeney, from a confidential file that is now in Michael's hands, and from a conspiracy that has already taken lives. Now Michael's former partners are about to become his bitter enemies because to them, Michael Brock is the most dangerous man on the streets. So there's book 3. Book number 4, we have Mary Higgins Clark's While My Pretty One Sleeps. I love her books. This is a 1989 copyright. Definitely loved and aged. This is what it's about. Nev Kearney may be the only person in New York worried about the disappearance of Ethel Lambston. Ethel, a best-selling author famous for her juicy poses, is one of the customers in Eve's exclusive Madison Avenue boutique. But Ethel's ex-husband, her parasital nephew, something, there's a dot over it, I can't see it, and the fashion mogul skewered in her latest article have a reason to be glad she's no longer around. When Ethel Lambston is found with her throat cut, Neve's memories of her mother's long unsolved murder loom up once again. Now, as an innocent witness in the Lambston investigation, Neve is drawn into a new nightmare and a sinister labyrinth of greed and ambition that will lead her into mortal danger. So there you go. Book 4. Book number 5, we have another Mary Higgins Clark. It's called All Around the Town. Definitely aged and loved. This is a 1992 copyright, and this is what it's about. When Laurie Kenyon, a 21-year-old student, is accused of murdering her English professor, Alan Grant, she has no memory of the crime, but at the scene of the homicide, her fingertips are everywhere, on the door, on the curtain, and on the knife used to stab him to death. Shocked and bewildered, Laurie is arraigned on a murder charge. Kidnapped at the age of 4 and a victim of 2 subsequent years of abuse and incarceration, Laurie has developed multiple personalities. The host personality, Laurie is unaware of the others, especially Leona, who has written crazed love letters to Alan Grant, has secretly entered his home. Laurie's sister attorney, Sarah Kenyon, takes up her defense and brings in psychiatrist Justin Donnelly to help Laurie unlock the unbearable memories of her lost years. But Laurie's abductor, now celebrated television evangelist, is still obsessed with her and determined to avoid exposure. With a terrifying twist of the climax, Mary Higgins Clark takes us on a breathtaking journey into the minds of a tortured young woman, desperate to retrieve her memories, and the mesmerizing preacher whose unsavory past is only but a prelude to his final gruesome plan for her. That sounds good, too. And that's book 5. Book number 6, we have Split Second by David Baldacci. I have a lot of his books come through. This is another one that's got loving aged pages. This is a 2003 copyright, and this is what it's about. Michelle Maxwell has just wrecked her promising career as the Secret Service. At the Secret Service. Against her instinct, she led a presidential candidate out of her sight for the briefest moment, and the man whose safety was her responsibility vanished into thin air. Sean King knows how the younger agent feels. 8 years earlier, the hard-charging Secret Service agent allowed his attention to be diverted for a split second, and the candidate he was protecting was gunned down before his eyes. Now Michelle and Sean are about to see their destinies converged. Drawn into a maze of lies, secrets, and deadly coincidences, the 2 discredited agents uncover a shocking truth that the separate acts of violence that shattered their lives were really a long time in the making, are a long way from over. So there you go. Book number 6. Book number 7, we have another Visions in Death by J.D. Robb. This is Nora Roberts. This is a 2004 copyright. And this is what the book is about. The summer of 2059 has been long, hot, and bloody. On one of the city's warmest nights, a call from dispatch sends Lieutenant Eve Dallas to Central Park and into a hellish new investigation. The victim was found on the rocks just above the still dark water of Central Park Lake. She wore nothing but a red ribbon tied around her neck. Her hands were posed as if in a prayer, but it is her eyes removed from with such precision, as if by the careful hand of a surgeon, that has Dallas most alarmed. As more bodies turn up, each With the same defining scars, Eve is frantic for answers. Against her instinct, she accepts help from a psychic who offers one vision after another, each with shockingly accurate details of the murders, and when Eve's partner and friend, Peabody, is badly injured after escaping an attack, the stakes are raised. Are the eyes a symbol, a twisted religious ritual, a souvenir? With the help of her husband, Rourke, Dallas must uncover the killer's motivation before another vision becomes another nightmare. So there you go. Book 7. Book number 8, we have Purity in Death by J.D. Robbs, a.k.a. Nora Roberts. This is a 2002 copyright. That's what it looks like. This is what it's about. Louis Coburn has spent 3 days holed up in his apartment staring at his computer screen. His pounding headache was unbearable. It felt like spikes drilling into his brain, and it was getting worse. Finally, when someone knocked at his door, Louis picked up the baseball bat, opened the door, and started swinging. The first cop on the scene fired his stunner twice. Louis died instantly. Detective Eve Dallas has taken over the investigation, but there's nothing to explain the man's sudden rage or death. The only clue is a bizarre message left on his computer screen. So there you go. Book 8. Book number 9, we have Carpathian, an event group thriller by David Coleman. This is a 2003 copyright. Really good condition. This is what it's about. Rumors, most enduring mysteries are about to be revealed. Rumors of the seemingly magical victory that allowed the exodus of Israelites from Egypt have resonated through the archaeological world for decades. However, new evidence has been discovered that points to an explanation of how the ancient Hebrews destroyed the unstoppable army of Pharaoh with a tribe of warriors who disappeared a generation later. After the destruction of the city of Jericho, taking with them the most valued treasure of the people without a homeland. But what lies in stores for those who learn the truth? Today, a treasure of a different kind is unearthed at the lost ruins of Jericho, one that will change the history of God's chosen people for all time. The petrified remains of an animal that could not exist. Enter the event group. Led by Cole Jack Collins, the group's brilliant men and women gather to discover the truth. Not only the Exodus, but also the magnificent animals that led the defeat of the Pharaoh's army. On a whirlwind race to save the most valuable treasure and artifacts in the history of the world from those who would destroy them, the event group is about to come face to face with even a greater enemy, the mythic and larger-than-life Carpathians, or as the era was once known, Transylvania, the land of Vlad the Impaler. So there you go. Looks like an interesting book. That was 9. And last, we have book number 10, Age of Aztec by James Lovegrove. Lovegrove? Is that a G? Ooh, let me see. Lovegrove. Said it wrong. So this is a 2012 copyright. This is what it's about. The date is 4 Jaguar, 1 Monkey, 1 House, November 5th, 2012. By the old reckoning, the Aztec Empire rules the world in the name of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, and his brother gods. The Aztec reign of one cruel and ruthless oppression, fooled by regular human sacrifice in the jungle-infested city of London. One man defies them, the masked vigilante known as the Conquistador. Then the Conquistador is recruited to spearhead an uprising and discovers the terrible truth about the Aztecs and their gods. The clock is ticking. Apocalypse looms unless the Conquistador can help assassinate the mysterious immortal Aztec emperor, the great speaker. But his mission is complicated by Mal Vaughn, a police detective who is on trial, determined to bring him to justice. So there you go. Book number 10. Thank you so much for spending time on my channel, listening, watching the video, whatever you want to do. Comment in my comment section. I'd love to hear from people. If you have a channel and you do, as soon as I comment back, I come visit your channel. That's how I do it. So with that, whatever time zone you're in, I hope you're having a great one. I'll see you soon. Bye.